Hey guys, it's Aseem Sharma, Training Manager from Solframe Consulting. Again, I do hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to briefly speak about how to manage people and how to deal with rudeness. So first of all, managing people, whether you are a manager or you have to delegate responsibility or supervise someone or a bunch of people, it could be within the family unit or it could be some friends or mainly within the workplace. So how do we do that? You don't really want to boss people around, and you want to give them that autonomy that they feel that they're in control of what they can do, but then you need to give them guidance, of course. You need to set a structure, you need to be respected, and these are things that I've mentioned before in my previous videos. You need to also show that authority, especially when things aren't going the way they should be. So how do we achieve that balance? And what happens when you have to deal with the other side of the scale where people are rude or defiant? uh, Try to understand what they're saying, of course, and empathize, but also stand your ground. Say that, look, this is what needs to be done, these are the expectations, and this is the timeline, and this is what we need to do. And if you don't hit that, deadline, then what the potential consequences could be. These are some of the things that we need to do. And of course, you don't want to get involved in rifts. So if someone starts kind of like pinpointing you and maybe faulting you, you can take it constructively. But when you see that it's more of animosity and it's not really anything constructive, then you can, detach yourself and say, see, I'm not going to get involved in things. There may be issues that I have with you, but I will keep this professional. So if, for instance, you are not time bound, I will mention that. I'm not going to say that you're good for nothing because you're always late. What I can say is that unfortunately at times your timekeeping is not up to the mark, which then affects us in X, Y, and Z ways. That's a more constructive and professional way of dealing with things. And of course, apart from the empathy, you also have to make sure that there will be times where perhaps people are not going to come to you, and you have to make sure and check up on them. So a lot of people would appreciate that. So these are some of the things that you can do. So when you're dealing with someone who's rude, as I said, don't enter a confrontation as such, but then don't be afraid to have conflict. Conflict can be healthy as well, especially if it leads to a productive outcome. You don't need to raise your voice as such, but yes, you can assert yourself, the kind of language that you use. You can say, I'm disappointed, or this was not what was expected. And again, these are some of the things that I've mentioned before, dealing with awkward situations, of course. And then, setting a timeline, as I mentioned earlier, and seeing where it's going. And then not being afraid when things don't go right, to then take that stand, whether someone needs to be off a project or worse, I won't mention anymore. And not holding back when it's required, but of course doing it in a reasonable manner. It needs to be gauged, not that you just throw everything all at once, because that's overwhelming for anyone, and you don't know what's going on in the other person's life. But again, giving that benefit of the doubt should not, make the person feel that you're overly lenient. That's also another thing. So I hope you found this useful. For further tips, please do subscribe to this channel. You can also find us on FB, Insta, Telegram, and of course LinkedIn. Till next time, please do take care. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.